Hello and welcome to Taiwan Today. I'm Natalie. Today I'm at Artrue Gallery, a beautiful gallery in the heart of Taipei, right across the street from the Da'an Park. I'm here with Ginny Chien, the founder and CEO, and she has brought to Taiwan the concept of culture care with her gallery and with a solo exhibition of Makoto Fujimura. Now, Makoto Fujimura is a renowned artist, a Japanese-American artist. He was appointed a presidential appointee to the National Council of the Arts. He's known around the world not only as an artist, but as a cultural shaper. And Ginny, too, is becoming a cultural shaper for Taiwan. So, Ginny, this is a beautiful gallery. Tell us what inspired you to open this gallery here in Taipei?
Well, I'm very fortunate to be living in this area. I moved to Taiwan about 7 years ago, and we kind of decided on this area to live in.
It's a beautiful, it's right across from the park.
Exactly, yeah. So we really enjoy the park. We use it every day, we exercise. And this building, we watched it being built and we thought, oh, what an interesting architecture. And then we approached the developer and asked him if it was available, and he said it was. And we thought, wow, this is a perfect place for art.
And I know that you represent Fujimura internationally.
That's right.
So what was it about this artist that inspired you to promote him around the world?
Yes. I think we were very touched, my husband and I, when we met him, we were just so touched by his love for not just his own art, but for the people who enable him to produce his art. So he really honors and shares about how even the materials that he uses, the brushes, the bowls, the paper, everything, and he honors all of those craftsmen that enable him to produce what we actually see. And then he also spends a lot of time encouraging young artists and to share whatever wisdom he has or experience or resources, and I just love that spirit of caring for others and helping others.
He has this concept called culture care.
Yes.
Can you describe that to us, what that means and
Yes.
how you're trying to promote that in Taiwan?
Yes. Well, he basically describes culture as an ecosystem, and how in an ecosystem there are different resources that can be shared and that can be that can be mutually encouraging, and so. He basically wants to see artists and also other people with different resources. So he describes it as, for example, people with financial capital, social capital, and creative capital. People with these types of resources, when they come together, that's how you can create a movement, or that's how you can actually produce an environment where the resources can be shared and actually produce something more beautiful.
I know that Taiwan, even the government, is trying to promote its cultural industries, right,
Yes.
and creative industries.
Yes.
So how do you think this concept fits in with what Taiwan is trying to flourish in?
Yeah, well, I think it's, Taiwan in itself has a great history or culture, I think, of heart, of really seeing people, not just what can give each other the greatest maximum commercial kind of impact, but also to just really see each human being or see each artist as having a certain specific gift or a unique ability, and how we can just really promote creativity and promote a culture that's filled with harmony and peace and mutual blessing, so to speak.
I know that he has this book called Culture Care. I was reading through it, and he mentioned that actually beauty is food for the soul.
Yes.
Can you expound on that? Why beauty is actually nourishing to us. Sometimes
Yes.
we think of it as a luxury,
Yes.
or maybe just something superficial.
Yes.
But actually, it can be something that feeds your soul. Can you expound
I
on
think,
that?
when we live in such a materialistic society, and our society is also, there's a whole kind of a emphasis on being utilitarian, being pragmatic. So everything has to have a function, or has to be extremely pragmatic, right? So there's that kind of a a value system. And I think that's important. You know, we have to, you know, our society is built on things that are effective and efficient. But there's another aspect that seems to have been neglected. But I think in Taiwan, they still put a value and importance. Japanese culture, Taiwanese culture, they are, how should I say, perhaps not as commercially driven. And so they, you know, there are people or pockets of people, circles of people that will gather around and enjoy, for example, tea, or enjoy beautiful flowers, or enjoy things that are not necessarily going to be bringing huge profits or commercial benefit, but actually are helping to develop as humans, to become fully alive, to thrive in our spirits, so to speak, and so placing value on beauty, which is maybe not pragmatic, but it is essential for humans to be fulfilled, or to be to enjoy life as we see it, and not just to only just make money and to produce things that are pragmatic. So as we feed our soul with beauty, as we start to enjoy the beauty of life, nature, you know, having this gallery overlooking the nature and being able to just have a quiet moment of, you know, meditating on just the beauty of nature and then beauty of creativity and art, I think really is a luxury, like you say.
It's a human luxury. It's a spiritual luxury.
It's a spiritual luxury. Yeah, exactly.
And I know that he actually uses natural minerals. I mean, his works, even just looking at them,
yes,
you get a sense of beauty, tranquility,
yes,
peace,
yes,
but elegance and vibrance.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what's special about how he makes his works?
Well, he's been very. He's highly trained. He went to the National Tokyo University of Arts, which is the most prestigious art institution in Japan, and he basically they have a special program called Nihonga, and Nihonga is a form of Japanese art. It's an ancient technique that uses all of these natural minerals. So, for example, we've got you know, these kinds of malachite and azurite, these kinds of stones, as well as other, you know, he also uses oyster shell, and these stones or rocks, after they've been mined and harvested, they actually get ground up and pulverized into kind of like sand-like. So these are little vials of sand, colored sand, but they're actually not colored sand. They're actually ground up minerals. And then
is this coral?
Yeah, that's coral.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're
gorgeous.
Yeah, he uses a lot of also gold leaf and silver leaf. So all of these are naturally derived ingredients. And then he has to use these. It requires a lot of patience to actually make these minerals into a pigment. So he combines the minerals with animal hide glue, and then they need to be heated and mixed to produce a pigment. And then with this pigment, it's actually diluted to make the layers, the washes. Yeah, so it's layers and layers of wash. So a painting like that would have about 100 layers of this wash.
So this is gold leaf?
Yeah, so the top layer is gold leaf, but then underneath, so you'll see the blues popping out. That's the malachite and the azurite, the blues and the greens, yeah, that are popping out.
100 layers.
Yeah, over 100.
That's why
Each layer.
Not valuable, but
texture, the texture,
yeah, the texture and
the layers, the richness.
The richness.
Yeah. So they, and each layer takes a day to dry.
Wow.
And so it's definitely a whole kind of inspires and encourages.
Journey, right?
Yeah,
It's a
but I feel like
process.
as a viewer of these paintings, it inspires us, or it compels us to actually slow down, to let our eyes take a moment to, especially since our eyes are so used to, digital speed.
Our phones,
our apps,
and emails, and all the
exactly.
apps that we communicate
And so
with.
this is kind of counterculture. Right now, our culture, the digital age, right? We're in this kind of pace of life that is just instantaneous. And coming into a space like this, what we're hoping is for people to just take a deep breath and just allow themselves 10 minutes, you know, to just let their eyes rest and to enjoy this beautiful art, which can touch their soul and refresh their soul. And so it's and this is something that you can bring into your home, you know.
Right. Well, I know that you're selling these, right?
Yes, yeah. These
so
are.
what has the response been of people in Taiwan?
Well, we started out just kind of selling the art or introducing the art to our friends, our circle of friends, in my home, and we had such a positive response. And we actually did a show in Hong Kong with a gallery in Hong Kong, and the response was also very encouraging and positive. So we thought, wow, we're not the only people who admire or yearn for a kind of art that will, like you say, help us to slow down and to
feed the soul.
Yeah, feed the soul and to enjoy moments of peace. You know, in our very hectic lifestyle, you know, we're all very, you know, busy and we all have hectic schedules, but to actually take a moment to just ponder and to rest and to enjoy the moment of peace
and beauty.
And beauty, yeah.
So do you have a favorite piece of his?
I do. The painting called Kiseki. I mean, I love this painting, but the other painting that we have upstairs is called Kiseki, and it means miracle. But ki in Japanese also means tree, so it's there's a double meaning to the word. So it's kiseki. We have a series of kiseki paintings, and they're very special in that they have actually silver leaf on top of the gold leaf. So like that painting over there, it's this painting, for example, is just gold leaf on top. But what he did is he took it a step further and was led to add silver on top of the gold. So you'll start seeing the gold kind of come out.
It's majestic.
Yeah, and it's just a very rich effect.
Right?
Yeah, it's a very rich effect. And plus the whole theme of Kiseki was based on a tree. It was a tree that was in his backyard, and I guess it had been there for a couple of years, and he would still water it and fertilize it, but every year there would be no flowers, no fruit. It was just seemed like a dead tree. But then, I guess last summer, suddenly, all of a sudden, it just burst into blooms and these, you know, and blossoms and fruit. And there was so much fruit that they didn't know what to do with it. They collected as much fruit as they could eat and made pies and jams and shared with neighbors. But then even the fragrance and the aroma of the flowers actually ended up attracting neighborhood deer and other animals, because they live on a farm in in New Jersey. They live in a farm in New Jersey, so they were able to just experience this miracle. And I think he wants to encourage people to not give up hope. That, you know, sometimes you might feel that you've been working so hard on something and you're just waiting for that moment where you can actually enjoy the fruits of your labor, and you kind of get tired, you know, right before it's kind of like, yeah, right, exactly,
a miracle.
Exactly.
That's why it's called miracle, right?
Exactly.
Well,
so it's kind of like, you know, it's always darkest right before dawn. And so I think another reason why my husband and I really felt led to kind of support and start this business, to support Makoto and to start this business, was because we loved his message of hope. So there's beauty and hope. And yeah, so we're very honored to be part of this movement. Well,
thank you, Ginny Chien, for bringing this movement to Taiwan, the cultural care movement, and a beautiful gallery called Artrue Gallery right in the heart of Taipei, right across from the beautiful Daan Park. Ginny is the founder and the CEO of Artrue Gallery. It's been wonderful talking to you and wonderful talking about the works of Makoto Fujimura.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in to Taiwan Today. I'm Natalie So.